Good morning, students. Again, welcome to our new discussion. This discussion is our new topic for our second quarter, which is the second grading. Introductions to the closed circuit television or CCTV. This is the second quarter, week 5 to 6, module 1. Our learning competencies: install electrical systems, auxiliary outlets, and lighting fixtures. Our objective this discussion: identify the types of closed-circuit television or CCTV camera, layout and install CCTV, appreciate the usage of CCTV in residential or commercial places, and practice responsible consumerism by working economically. So, are you ready for our new discussion? Introductions of closed-circuit television or CCTV. Before we start with our discussion for this morning, can you give 5 steps in determining the grounded electrical devices at your home or in your workplace or working area? Okay, very good. First, you have to determine where is the short circuit or the grounded by safety precaution. First, you have to turn off the circuit breaker and then find the grounding rod driven into the ground. Check the ground connection clamp if it is tightened or na-loosen na siya. So make sure the connection is tight, and then check the devices that were having grounding problem. This would be the standard procedure to identify the defects such as grounded circuit, because there are times na dili na to malikayan na there should be a grounded or short circuit na ma-encounter during our working area or when we perform our tasks na ma-electric shock ka or mag-groundan ka. So this would be the standard procedure. So before you proceed to your work, to make it safety. Now, let's go to our topic. What is CCTV camera? Why do we need to install CCTV? So, in your own opinion, nganong kinanglan man ta mag-install og CCTV, especially kana mga big establishment like malls or even houses, private houses that can afford to buy CCTV? What would be the purpose of the CCTV in your home or in establishment or offices? Now, the closed-circuit television or the CCTV system provides surveillance capabilities used in the protections of people, assets, and system. A CCTV system serves mainly as security force multiplier, providing surveillance for a larger area more of the time than would be feasible with security personnel alone. CCTV systems are often used to support comprehensive security system by incorporating video coverage and security alarms for the barriers, intrusions detection, and access control. For example, a CCTV system can provide means of access and alarm generated by an intrusion detection system and record the event. So CCTV makes a big help aside from our security guard personnel. CCTV can record incident or accident during the time, and this would be your proof or evidence. So if there is a committed crime or stealing, especially in store, so this would be the, shall we say, evidence for that persons who commit that certain crime or stealing. Because of the configuration system in the DVR or digital video recorder, there is a configuration that sets the face detection or motion detection. Aside from the simple playback, you can be go to the smart analysis that would initially detect that face detection or motion detection. So ma-record niya ang whole event, or pwede ka maka-shortcut na direct nimo makita kung kinsay nisud kay naa may face detection, kay pwede man nimo isip ang face detection or ang motion detection. So ang whole event ma-record nimo, dayon pwede nimo i-smart analysis. You can click the smart analysis sa iyang settings para makita directly nimo kung kinsa toy galihok o kinsa toy ning sulod o kinsa toy mga tawhana because of the setting, which is face detection or motion detection. So what are the different types of CCTV cameras? So dili ra ingon na when CCTV camera ang makita nato directly or mostly makita nato sa malls. Kung mutanaw ka sa babaw, naanay sa mga camera. So there are different types of that certain camera. It depends upon the brand of the DVR. DVR stands for digital video recorder. So aside from DVR, naa sa gitawag na NVR. So ang DVR is record the footage or video or event analog and you can upload. But in NVR or network video recorder, by the use of the IP camera, you can store your video footage or events in the internet. Of course, we have to use the internet. So first, darker fighter technology cameras. These cameras can pick up colored images in very low light conditions. So this camera can adjust even in the low light. Especially this camera you can use this camera or install this camera in the darker place, kay mo adjust man siya. So ENPR or LPR cameras, ENPR and LPR cameras are used to read and store data on registration plates. So this camera mostly installed in the streets, katong mga overspeeding, katong mga reckless drivers. This camera can detect especially the plates, registration plates of a car or vehicle or motorcycles na makakuan sa street violations. ENRP stands for automatic number plate recognitions, while LPR camera stands for license plate cameras. So dagan ang mga gamit or daghang mga kinds of camera. The dome camera is one mostly commonly used indoor or outdoor security surveillance. This dome camera, I will show you these pictures after my discussion. So this dome camera, mostly we can see it in the malls. So naani siya sa makita nato mostly sa mga parts sa malls, naani siya ang dome camera. So you can install CCTV in a very, shall say, sayon na siya pag-install. Especially kung kamao ka naakay idea or naakay background regarding the installation. So this dome camera is mostly installed indoor. Dili ni siya pa igawas. Unlike with other cameras like katong mga ENPR, pwede siya igawas outdoor to. But this dome camera, which is only, well, okay, it's can install indoor and outdoor. So pero mostly para dili maguba, you can install in indoor places. The bullet cameras are long and cylindrical shape and are ideal for outdoor use. So this bullet camera naa siya murag pandong. Aside from the dome na atay gitawag na bullet, ang dome wala siya murag cover, but ang bullet camera naa siya pandong sa babaw. Next is the same mount cameras can cover distance beyond 40 feet. Thanks to the possibility to use special lenses with these cameras, whereas standard CCTV lenses can only cover the distance of 35 to 40 feet. So, ang C-mount cameras can cover distance beyond 40 feet. So, 50 to 80 or 100 feet, ang C-mount camera can cover that footage or video na maklaro pa. But the other cameras can only cover 35 to 40. So, it depends upon the lenses sa iyang features sa iyang camera. Then, the day and night camera, capable of operating in both normal or poorly lit environments or light environments. These cameras benefit from not requiring inbuilt infrared illuminators, as they can capture clear video images in the dark. So this camera can capture even at the night time. During night time, you can use this camera. You can install this camera. So these cameras, it depends upon their features. It depends upon the prices. So mas mahal, mas mayo ang features, mas dako ang iyang cover sa iyang makuha na footage, and ang iyang image during the footage clear, and even night kaya niya maklear ang naong sa tao. So next, the PTZ, the pan, tilt, and zoom. So these cameras allow the camera to be moved left or right, so panning. So pwede siya maliso-liso, and then up and down, which is tilting, and even allow the lens to be zoomed closer or farther. These cameras are used in situations where a lifeguard or surveillance specialist in their operating security systems. Kasagaran makita nato ni sa mga movie, especially in the kaning mga facilities like sa mga prisoners na aslay mga ingani na camera para makita ang mga prisoners na unsay gihimo. Kini mga Hollywood na mga salida makita nato ni siya. But most of the countries in US or Europe, they are installing this pan, tilt, and zoom. I don't know if our country nag-install ba sila ani, but siguro naa, pero pipila lang because this camera is very expensive. So expensive sa ni siya. Ang mga features ani pwede gud nimo maliso-liso. So you can use your mouse when you monitor na ani siya mga settings sa iyang DVR na pwede nimo i-click na mo adto siya sa left or adto siya sa right or imo isa siya. Actually, murag naa na dahil ni sa Philippines naa na dahil na pwede siya dahil na magay mas mga pwede ra i-connect through mga kuan parehas anang mga LDT or globe na ni siya dahil motel nga fan o mo zoom. So dili din iingo na expensive, so we can install this camera at home. So if you have extra budget, you can use this camera. You can install this CCTV, and the camera you can use, which is the pan, tilt, and zoom. So during the installation, there are different set during your actual installation. The set E is the fire alarm detection or fire detection and alarm system. So in fire detection and alarm system is different connections in the set B, because set B is installation of the CCTV. Here I show you the layout. So mauni siya layout na inyuhang guide during the assessment of National Certificate Level 1. So mauni siya ang layout. So kanang mga box is equivalent to 100 mm. So from the entrance cap or the service entrance down to the kilowatt hour meter, the panel board, and then the ground, connect the panel board to the ground, then the light or the lamp, and then other lamp which is controlled by three-way and single pole, and then next is the camera 1, the camera 2. In the assessment, we only use 2 cameras or the 2 channels of the DVR. So that is why camera 1 and camera 2. So kani diri dapita is ang kuani molding 1 and 1/2 ang iyang size. Molding na siya or trunking or cable duct. So but mostly during the assessment, we are using the molding. So kani diri ang mga EMT 1/2 size EMT. So take note, please use Panasonic kay ligon, and the PVC is katong mga Atlanta para dili malata. So this area here is the single pole on the three-way dire. So three-way, and the single pole. Kanisad is the CCTV panel or naa sa diri ang data cabinet. So naa diri ang monitor, naa diri ang DVR, naa diri ang mga components sa set sa CCTV. So you can put stand diri para mabutang ang set sa CCTV. Of course, the convenience outlet and the aircon outlet also installed. So you can install the CCTV provided that you have to measure or the correct measurement of the installation of the electrical boxes and the equipments provided in the set B. So mauni siya mga measurement dinhi. So gikan diha is 400 center to center 400, and then liko is 200 because kanina box is equivalent to 100 mm. So I will teach you how to lay out and how to make the layout para ma-familiarize ninyo during the assessment. No need to look the guide para makuha ninyo ang sakto na measurement. So kani dire 450, dayon 350, 350, 150, 350, 300, and then 800. So 400, dayon 200, 500, 500, 500, 250, 250, then 900 mm, 400, 400, and then 700 mm, 900, 200 to center. So meaning ang iyang takdo ana adto ka mosumpay. Example sa 400 center, and then sumpay sa ka from 400 to 450 center sa iyang panel. So center to center, that's the standard during the assessment. So this is the closed circuit television or CCTV. 4 channels. So gi-install, gi-connect ang camera using the BNC connector. So ang BNC connector maunay ga-connect sa iyang monitor o sa iyang dome camera. Later I will show you the BNC connector. So kani gibutang ang 4 cameras mo nang upat ka buok ang makita nimo. Kay most of the DVR is 4 channels, so pwede siya makonektahan og upat ka camera. So this is the adapter. So mauna siya adapter pareha sa imong laptop na naa siya adapter in para makonect didto sa iyang power supply o sa AC. So kanina adapter mao ni gigamit sa DVR or digital video recorder. So this is the camera, which is the dome and the bullet camera. So kani akong gingon ninyo, kani siya gitawag nato na BNC connector. You can buy a pre-made CCTV cable or included sa set sa imong CCTV. So kani mao ni BNC connector. Imo ni siyang i-lock, i-connect then i-lock. Next is kani siya diga-supply sa 12 volts. Kay most of the camera is 12 volts. You cannot directly connect this camera to 220 volts. Mubuto ni siya or masunog ni siya. So nag-supply ani niya is 12 volts. So naatay power supply na 12 volts i-connect sa 220, and then ang iyang output mao ang 12 volts para mo supply sa mga camera. So mao ni ang dome, mostly ato ni makita sa mga malls, and kani siya bullet camera na siya pandong-pandong. So you can install indoor or outdoor, kanisad siya, but mostly makita nato ni in indoor. Mao ni ang BNC camera. So kani usa, you can use this to turn on and off. So pwede nimo ma-on and off ang imong camera. Naani siya pwede nimo i-push button diri sa sud. Imo ni itangtangon. Anyway, I will demo the camera in our shop. So we have cameras, we have DVR na atay set sa camera or CCTV sa atong shop. So this would be the pictures and during our video lesson, but in actual I will show you and I will allow you to install the CCTV set. So this is the digital video recorder or DVR with BNC connector. So this is the BNC connector connect the first camera and then the BGE. So BGA cable connect the DVR to the monitor. So makakita ka sa mga footage through this cable. So the actual wiring of the installation of CCTV. First, the AVR, automatic voltage regulator, connect to the AC or sa service provider. And then if you have UPS, but it is not necessary to connect the UPS. If you only have EBR, okay na na kung na kay EBR. But if you have UPS or uninterrupted power supply, you can use the UPS. So EBR to UPS, plug the monitor to the UPS, and then plug the 12 volts to the UPS. The 12 volts supply the camera. So you can plug also the data cabinet to the UPS. The camera connect to the data cabinet, and then connect to the 12 volts. So naay data cabinet na supplyan og 12 volts, but there are also data cabinet na directly connect or plug to the UPS. So ato na tayo pakita yan ninyo. So your individual performance, you can write it in the long or short bond paper and submit during our retrieval and distribution of modules. What are the different types of the CCTV cameras? So these are the answers. So these are the features or images of the different type of the cameras. Which first is the dome and the bullet, the same mount and the daylight. So ang same mount as babaw, ang the daylight camera is ang ubos. The pan, tilt, and zoom camera. So what are the tools used to layout or preparing the area for installation? So unsa man nimo na tools. So you can use different tools, but during the installation of CCTV, you can use the specific tools intended for the installation of CCTV. So why do we have to layout first? These questions is during your installation, the in situ. So why do we have to layout first before we perform the installation? And number 3, in installing electrical materials and equipment, do we need to layout first or install directly? Why? Dito ba kag-install, ladi ka kibaw asa ibutang o unsay measurement or unsay gilayon? What if makuwang ang imong cable or dili kaabot ang imong cable sa imong panel or sa imong DVR? So unsa man di ay? So next activity, layout of CCTV. So your activity, you can use bond paper. So during our discussion ganina, so pwede ito nyo matanaw, you can repeat this video lesson, and then you have to draw the layout of CCTV. So katong Sheet B sa NC2 assessment. And then list of material used in CCTV installation. So what are the set of CCTV? Unsa man to siya? Unsa man to mga input or output na mga materials na pwede nimo gamiton na para ma-set nimo ang CCTV cameras. So may unsa man to mga gamit ato niya? Monitor ba? Unsa man aside sa monitor, unsa man to ang uban? And then the last is the layout and measurement in CCTV. So unsa man to ang layout? Makuha gyapon or makita gyapon nimo atong Sit B sa assessment sa NC2. Why do we need to install CCTV in public places or in building establishment? Na naman, what's the purpose? So, in your own opinion. So before installing, you have to know or you should know the specification CCTV for proper installation. So this is a reminder. You have to look or read the manual first before you install that particular CCTV. So what is the features or the specification para ma-install mo og tarong ang imong CCTV set. Thank you and good day. See you when I collect your outputs during the distribution and retrieval of our modules.